Hello everybody, oh my goodness, no, it's 5 to 4 in the afternoon. I don't know where the day's gone. I don't know where the day's gone. I remembered yesterday that it was 9/11. Wasn't yesterday, was it? What day was it? What's the date today? I don't know, but I remembered it was 9/11 anyway over the last few days. I think it's the 12th today, isn't it? So it was on Friday. That terrible event, and we were talking about that over the weekend, and I had my family here, and of course everything news-wise has been caught up with this passing of Queen Elizabeth II. That wasn't a tragedy. I've heard people saying how tragic and how sad it is. It isn't a tragedy. The woman lived till she was 96, had a very fulfilled life, and it was her time, to be called to be with Prince Philip, and she's gone to be with him. It's the nation is mourning the loss of a monarch. I feel sadder than I should, being an almost Republican. I think there's a place for the monarchy. I think there's a place to discuss it, a time and place. This isn't the time and place to do that. But it did bring a lump to my throat when I saw Princess Anne was there to greet her mother's coffin as it entered Holyrood house to stay overnight last night, and she did the deepest curtsy. There was Princess Anne, her husband Sir Tim Lawrence, the Duke of York, the Duke of Wessex, three of the Queen's children, and Sophie Wessex, her daughter-in-law, and they were all there at Holyrood House. I'll save the clip. I think I've got the right one to show you. And now I've just lost it again. Just a second. Here we go.
This is the poignant moment Princess Anne maintained royal protocol with a deep curtsy towards the Queen as her mother's coffin was brought into the palace of Holyrood House. The Princess Royal performed the moving tribute as the coffin was carried into the palace, having travelled with the cortege from Balmoral to Edinburgh today.
Yes, she did. Princess Anne stayed in the car 6 hours in the cortege.
Sophie was seen reaching out to console Anne, who was at her mother's bedside during her final hours at Balmoral on Thursday. Being the Queen's only daughter, the pair shared a special bond that was highlighted today as a note the 6-hour journey from her mother's beloved Balmoral to Edinburgh in a vehicle behind the hearse. The Queen's coffin, draped in the royal standard for Scotland with a wreath of Balmoral flowers on top, crossed the River Forth via the Queensferry crossing at around 4 p.m.
I'm sorry, do excuse me just a second. I could have done better here, and just one moment. Start that again.
This is the poignant moment Princess Anne maintained royal protocol with a deep curtsy towards the Queen as her mother's coffin was brought into the palace of Holyrood House. The Princess Royal performed the moving tribute as the coffin was carried into the palace, having travelled with the cortege from Balmoral to Edinburgh today. Anne was visibly emotional as she lined up alongside the Queen's children and their spouses, Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, Prince Andrew, and the Earl and Countess of Wessex. Sophie was seen reaching out to console Anne, who was at her mother's bedside during her final hours at Balmoral on Thursday. Being the Queen's only daughter, the pair shared a special bond that was highlighted today.
So that was Princess Anne. She was at her mother's bedside, and then afterwards she and her husband, Sir Tim Lawrence, were in the car behind the funeral car, behind the hearse, and a 6-hour drive to Scotland, where her mother stayed overnight in the church there, then to Holyrood House, then I believe they're going on to St Giles Cathedral today. And Prince Charles, I believe, is following the next part of the journey and accompanying the Queen's coffin to she looks heartbroken, doesn't she? And curtsy, the arrow pointing. And that's the part I found most touching, you know, her daughter doing that very, very deep curtsy. Princess Anne I was to meet her at one time and I didn't want to. I didn't, not just me personally, you know, all of the staff where I was working. And me being the little rebel I was, I decided, you know, put my money where my mouth is. And I didn't agree with the royal family and the monarchy and all the curtsy and the deference business. And so I had the day off, booked a day's holiday, and it wasn't taken very well. But I didn't meet her, and I saw the Queen once in passing as she was coming through locally where I lived. We took the children when they were young to watch. But that's the extent of my knowledge of the royals. And, you know, I haven't wanted to go out my way in any way, shape or form to meet them. But I will say about Princess Anne, she is the most hard-working royal. She's a no-nonsense kind of person. She's like her dad, you know, a chip off the old block. She will say it as she sees it. She will call a spade, no nonsense. But she works extremely hard in her role as the Princess Royal. And so I've got respect for that. She refused titles for her children, Zara and Peter. You know, I suppose they could have been Princess Zara and Prince Peter, but Princess Anne refused titles for them and didn't want all the pomp and all the ceremony for them. And they've led a fairly private life, you know, if you can call being photographed more or less every time you go out private, but they have a comparatively private life. Anyway, the Queen's gone. I'm very sad that the family are grieving. I'm very happy that the Queen led a full and complete life, and I think that's how we should look at it, that we were blessed to have her as monarch. And discussion about the monarchy and republicanism is just for another time. Today we mourn the Queen of England, and I'll be back on with another video later. Okay, bye bye.